an innovation accelerator from LG. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from LG is Senior Vice President of Innovation and Head of LG Nova, Dr. Sokwoo Rhee. Thank you for taking time with us, Dr. Rhee.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, at CES, one of the many things that LG is doing is talking about the LG Nova program and the North American Innovation Center. Tell us what it is that you're doing and what the goals are.
Yeah. So North American Innovation Center, IE or AKA LG Nova, is a branch of LG Electronics built and developed to create a new future of LG Electronics. So LG Electronics, at the end of the day, is one of the largest manufacturers of appliances and TVs and so on. And we believe LG can do much more than what we are doing today. So our mission is to find a new growth areas and develop actual businesses in those areas, including healthcare and ESG, and also job reskilling and so on.
Now, LG's investing and providing mentorship. Are there specific kinds of companies that you're looking to work with here? And I'm sure there's lots of competition to get your support, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I wouldn't call it a competition. We welcome any company and any organizations to work with. But at the end of the day, we are looking for passionate startups that is on the top notch of the innovation, and because they know those new market, they know what's emerging, and LG is happy to partner with those startups that work with. We're not looking at startups and say that okay, it has to be this kind of startup. It's more like startups that is on the cutting edge and is willing to work with to co-create businesses together with LG. That's important. Co-creation. It's not like working with one side or the other side. It's more like co-creation of new businesses.
And these, as you've said, could turn into some new businesses for LG as well, right? Through partnerships.
Absolutely. That's the whole point. We are looking for partnerships that are what you call mutually beneficial, in a sense that startups can increase their own business, grow their own business, but at the same time, LG can also create new businesses. And idea is to find this sweet spot of intersections between these two.
Why is it important for a company like LG to go outside of itself? You got a lot of great people there to find startups and innovations instead of just doing everything from inside.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we are a number one appliance manufacturer in the world. So as far as appliances are concerned, we have the most smartest people in the world. However, in the new growth areas, including ESG, healthcare, sustainability, and job reskilling, well, we believe there are a lot of smarter people, or maybe as smart people outside of LG Electronics. And at the end of the day, we believe the power of collaboration, and we believe there are 8 billion people out there who may have great ideas. We'd love to work with them. So that's the idea.
And you've mentioned ESG, which is environmental, social, governance kinds of companies. So tell us, have you had companies that have been part of the program already? Give us an idea of what the numbers look like. And
yeah. So we started the first solicitation last year, and we called it Grand Challenge Program. So it's a program to call for proposals from startups. And last year, we received over 1,300 proposals from startups all over the world. And we picked 10 companies ranging from seed stage companies up to, believe it or not, public companies. So they come to us and say, hey, here's idea. Here's one idea that they can work with LG to create businesses that did not exist before, which can be win-win situation. This year, we ran the second round of grand challenges, and then we received over 2,200 applications or proposals. Now we are sorting them through right now, and then we are working on with dozens of startups to find the next new businesses.
When it comes to digital health, one of the areas that you're looking at, tell us some of the more interesting things that you've seen, maybe in some of the companies that you might be working with.
Absolutely. So what we have seen last year was a very interesting trend. It's sort of like the combination of more of a digital therapeutics with advanced technologies such as a metaverse, XR, VR. So these two are, this has been the different sectors, different markets, but I see that, okay, what if we combine those two and create new market in digital health? So for example, the digital, the therapeutics in the sense of the musculoskeleton, for example, and in a sense of like, the therapies, digital therapies, for example, and those are very interesting sector that we are working with, and we already have announced a number of companies that we work with in the sector. This year is going beyond that. So this year is interesting now. So many different types of companies like skincare, for example, that can detect the issues in your skin through camera or through some kind of visual inspection instead of actually looking at it, related to telehealth. So there are many interesting companies in the pipeline.
And we know that mental health, telehealth, all of those things have become pretty big topics today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, first, healthcare is a big portion of what we call improving the quality of life. So LG Nova is designed and it was built to pursue the topics that can improve the quality of life of everybody. I mean, improving the quality of life is like cliche. Everybody says that, but we really believe that that's the way to do business, because we believe once we contribute in people's health or people's the life quality, then I think it will be a good thing for everybody, good thing for the business. Now, coming back to healthcare, that's why it is important that we are looking at the inflection point of digital healthcare and telehealth, as you said. It's not just because COVID. Before COVID, less than 1% of the population, or 1% of the activities were done remotely, telehealth. Now, after COVID, it peaked at a much higher percentage, but now it's settled at around somewhere between 12 to 15%. That's like more than tenfold increase. So it's not just the COVID. Even after COVID, people understands it's more convenient, more effective, and it's more inexpensive, less expensive. That's why I think it's going to be here to stay, and I think that's where we are playing.
Another area that you've taken a look at is called smart lifestyles, and some interesting companies there too.
Yeah, so smart lifestyle is a little bit extension of the businesses we've been doing. Appliances and TVs, there are all that. But question is, okay, is there any additional service, or is there additional value we can provide to consumers that can make their lifestyle more convenient, more healthier, and better? So it's more of a, like, when I say extension, we can leverage LG's core capabilities, which is appliances and TVs and so on, but somehow we can connect them. We can somehow create synergy between these and how we can improve the quality of lifestyle of everybody. That's where we are going.
So my LG refrigerator one day might say, "No, you're not going to have the half and half. Here's some skim milk." Is that
Well, that's idea. That's that's idea at the end of the day. But there are a lot more than that. For example, how do we combine, for example, sort of like health monitoring or healthcare with existing appliances that you have? For example, can you look at the usage of refrigerators or washers and dryers, and somehow if you can warn or predict some kind of conditions, health conditions that you may not even aware of, or maybe you are not aware of, but maybe your children or your family can understand. That could be a good thing. That could be something that can save a lot of people's lives if you can detect them earlier. So I'm not saying that this is one of the. This is sort of like a hypothetical examples that we are going after with a smart lifestyle.
Very interesting. And you've played a role, I think, in the electric mobility space before, and batteries, et cetera. So tell us what areas you're looking at now, what kinds of companies that you may be partnering with.
Yeah, so electromobility is part of the bigger initiative of sustainability. So LG Electronics is very interested, and LG as in general is very interested in sustainability. And the battery for EV is one piece of it. But there's also a huge market for energy sustainability, saving, not just saving, but also how do you reduce carbon footprint? And you can reduce carbon footprint in many different ways. You can capture carbon, actually. There's more of a proactive way to do it. Or you can simply save energy. That's another one. Or you can use more of alternative energy or more of sustainable energy sources. The issue is the grid infrastructure we have in the US, especially, is really complicated. I'm not going to go there. I worked on it before, but somehow if you can optimize and if you can offload some of the stress on the grid when you put in all these EVs and all these new types of energy, that could potentially save a lot of money, and it can make our lives a lot, not just money, but it can save Earth. So that's where we are going.
Right. A lot of EV owners may not even think about where the power to charge their vehicle is coming from. They just think, hey, I have an electric vehicle, I'm doing good.
Yeah, so I'll talk about one company that we're working at. It's called the Spark Charge. Is one of those top 10 company last year, and they bring charging capabilities to you instead of you install chargers in your home. So, for example, I lived in Boston 20 years, long time ago, and when I was a student, I didn't have a parking spot. Boston, huge city, so I had to do street parking all the time. I had a gasoline vehicle at the point, but if I had a EV now, if I have to do street parking where there's no stationary charging infrastructure, what am I going to do? I mean, should I stop by the charging station every day and every morning and stay there for 1 hour? It's really not going to be acceptable for me. So that's where this company like Spark Charge, they actually bring those charging to your vehicle on demand. And what we are working with them, planning to work with them is, okay, is there any additional service that we can add to those charging, the leveraging those startups' capabilities so they can do more business and LG can create new business in the new emerging EV infrastructure area.
Just terrific. So is there a place people can go to learn more about the program and maybe if they've got a company, try to get involved?
Absolutely. So go to lgnova.com. It's lgnova.com. That's the website. And if you come to the website, there is a way to submit your ideas. At the same time, you're going to be learning a lot about what we do with those startups. And when I say co-creating business, we are literally co-create new businesses. It's not like we are just licensing and working with the startups back and forth. We're not just using them as a supplier. Startups puts in their capabilities and LG puts in our capital and our capabilities. We'll literally create new business together and grow them. And we obviously split the outcome of those new businesses.
And it greatly magnifies, I assume, the chances of success for these new companies.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And there's chances of success for both parties because startups now work with a large company like LG Electronics, and we help startups with the capabilities we have. LG Electronics also in a new growth area like sustainability and healthcare. we don't have a lot of expertise, and that's where the startups comes in. Even for LG, is we increase the chance of success because we work with experts, which we do not have internally. So it is a win-win situation. That's the model that we created.
How do you find or judge the companies to find the right fit? Because companies have their own cultures and chemistry and personalities. What are you looking for?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question, and that's the most important question. Startups have their own culture, and not all startups are a good fit with LG Electronics. Those startups may be a good fit for other companies, but may not be us. So when we work with them, we don't just look at the paper. We don't look at just the data. We have our own EIRs, entrepreneurs in residence, who have the background of running their own company or starting their own company. Some of them are coming from venture capital background, for example. We have them in-house. They work with the startups. So once we select, we pre-select or screen startups and reduce it down to a number of that we can work with. We literally put these EIRs in those startups, and they work day and night to create this cool business model. Now, through this process, it becomes pretty obvious that some startups are good fit with us to work with, and some of them are not. And it's more of an art instead of sort of like a data, but we have a process that we find out, that the companies that are willing to work with us and have a possibility to create huge businesses together.
It sounds like you've got a lot of enthusiasm for this, which I'm sure is great for the companies that you're working with.
Well, I like to think so, and if you can see it on the screen, then I guess that's right. So, well, my background is also startup. When I out of the college, out of my grad school, I studied my own company. I went through a typical venture-backed company process and sold a company. So I know what they go through. I know how hard it is for startups. But at the same time, I also know how large companies can partner with the startups and create this really, really amazing new businesses together. I've been on both sides. So my philosophy here is how to make it easier. I try. It's not always is more difficult than you think, but I try. And then that's why I'm more excited, because I know I've been on both sides of the aisle. I know it can be done. I know we can do this and create this mutual beneficial relationship that can make a win-win situation. So that's where I'm going after.
Is it kind of like Shark Tank? Sometimes you tell companies that I don't think you have such a good idea.
Well, not really. It's not that. So every company, those 4,000, 3,000 companies that they're all great ideas. There's not a bad idea. It's more of is it a good fit? Is it where LG can help them? Is it where they can help LG? That's the hard part. So sometimes, I have to tell them, and they said, hey, this is a great idea. I think this is going to be hugely successful. However, this is probably not where LG can help, or it's not type of items that LG can really collaborate. Yeah, sometimes I have to tell them hard, sort of like I have to make a tough call, but that's just the way it is.
Terrific. Well, once again, the website is lgnova.com. Dr. Sokwoo Rhee, thank you so much for spending time with us.
It's my pleasure, Fred. It was nice.